other than that they had treated me well, and I didn't know why. And it was a complete mystery to me. But like so many Western journalists covering that region of the world, I knew nothing about the culture. I knew nothing about their faith. I knew nothing about Islam. And everything that they did, I misinterpreted. During the interrogations that we had, they would look at the ceiling, they would look at the floor, they would look anywhere but at me. And I thought, yes, they're too guilty. They are, they are so, you know, determined that they're going to kill me, they can't even make eye contact. Of course, I discovered later that this was the Taliban showing me respect by not looking at me. I didn't realize that at the time.
So you came back to UK?
I came back to the UK, and I thought about the promise that I made. And, you know, I come from the north of England. I say it's the tribal areas of Britain between Scotland and England. And, you know, where a person's bond, where their word is very important. And I thought, well, I did make a promise, so I'll keep it. But furthermore, as a journalist covering the Middle East and Asia, I thought that I really needed to know about Islam, because quite clearly, for these people anyway, it was a way of life, rather than just a faith that, that they picked up and put down when they felt like it. So I began reading the Holy Quran and studying Islam.
What was your first book that you decided to start with?
It was an English translation of the Holy Quran by A. Yusuf Ali. And it had,
for the books?
And it had an index in the back. The books that I read were many and varied, ranging from a lot of translated works by Sheikh Abdullah Razam. There was also Said Qutb, his Milestones that I read. Quite a few books on women's issues to do with the quite a few books on women's issues to do with the faith, and I also read some biographies on the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, because it was very easy for me to read the Quran, because I was a practicing Christian. I went to church maybe twice a month, which in Britain is bordering on being fanatical, and I knew my Bible very well.
You're Protestant?
So I was a Protestant, so reading the Quran was so easy. All the prophets, peace be upon all of them, were all in there, with the exception of Muhammad, peace be upon him. And so I read a biography about his life. I can't remember the author, but he was a Muslim, and I just thought, oh, nobody can be this perfect. So I then read several different biographies by non-Muslims, and again, the same glowing terms and the references, and, you know, I just, this perfect human being was just so inspirational. And this is when the whole business of the Danish cartoons came out. I just thought to myself, 5, 6 years ago, I'd never heard of the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him. Now I would give my last drop of blood to defend his honor, his memory, just, you know, what an incredible, inspirational, wonderful human being. And so I read, you know, a lot of And I also read a biography on Khalid bin Walid, another inspirational character. And then I read more about Salahuddin Ayyubi, who I had read about as a child at school, about the Crusades. And here was a man who was perceived to be the enemy, but a man of great courage, of great wisdom. And these are traits that the English, although he was the enemy, the English loved in him. And that is why even today he is spoken about with great reverence in schools in Britain. And that's why I say to Muslims, don't get on your knees to the English. They won't appreciate it. They'll trample all over you. Stand up to them and show them courage and wisdom. They might not like you for it, but they will respect you. And so about 2 years later, less than 2 years.
13 months, I've read you spent 13 months reading about studying Islam.
Yes, yes. And I had some wonderful scholars across the world that I was able to consult. And
At this 13 months, you were just studying for your knowledge, or in some time between you decided that you